Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iOS 26.2.1 to the public. Now, this update was expected quite a while ago, and Apple hasn't released it, but they released it today. Now, along with this update, we also got iPadOS 26.2.1, macOS 26.2.1, visionOS, HomePodOS, watchOS, all the other updates. And quite surprising at the same time, they also released iOS and iPadOS 26.3 Beta 3. Now, taking a look at the file size of the update, it was 520.9 megabytes. That's on my iPhone 12 in product red. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the build number under About an iOS version. As you can see, the build number is 23C71. I believe the last build number was 23C55. If that's not correct, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Now, what's new in iOS 26.2.1? Well, if we take a look at the release notes here, I found out that Apple this morning released new AirTags. I didn't find that out till not a while ago. And iOS 26.2.1 is the groundwork to pair the new AirTags, the AirTags second generation. So in order to pair those new AirTags, you will need to be running iOS 26.2.1. As far as any other features, well, this is a double point update, so you're not really going to find any features. But performance-wise, apps such as podcasts will generally load up as it should. Initially, older devices like the iPhone 11, iPhone 12 will lag at first as the update has to process things in the background, and I have an iPhone 12. As far as my performance within the app library here, we're doing some scrolling. It seems to load up as it should with iOS 26.2.1. Now my battery health, or battery life rather, but my battery health is at 80%. With that battery health, I've gotten 3 hours, 27 minutes screen on time, 1 hour, 8 minutes screen off time. And that is on my iPhone 12. As far as what to expect next from Apple, well, this week I wouldn't expect anything. Mainly because, for one, Apple dropped iOS and iPadOS 26.3 Beta 3 along with 26.2.1. Now, I was hoping it would be the RC, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it wasn't, as I would have had to install literally 2 separate updates. As when I checked prior, it still said iOS 26.3 Beta 2, so Apple must have dropped this update after I updated to 26.2.1 around probably 3 o'clock p.m. Central Time is when they must have dropped the update. So next week, I would expect iOS 26.3 RC, and well, that pushes it. While in November, we had an iOS 26.1 release in early November, this will push it even further. Apple will be dropping iOS 26.3 on February 9th. And that's quite surprising, as this has never happened before. Apple's never dropped a 0.3 update in the second week of February. But since Apple's been a little bit strange with their updates in the past couple of years, this is definitely possible, as last week we should have had this update, and today should have been the RC. But as I mentioned, last week was a quiet one for Apple. So iOS 26.3 RC, I will be updating to it on February 2nd with a final release expected on February 9th. I guess Apple needs a lot of time to release iOS 26.4, as I would not expect that update till probably the beginning of April, probably April 4th or even April 13th. So we just don't know at this point, as Apple's updates are really strange, but I do have a speculation as to what the Unity wallpapers will be called. If I go into X, formerly Twitter, where I posted this here, I believe the new wallpapers for iOS 26.3 RC could be called Unity Glass. Now, there's also other names, but I think Unity Glass is what Apple is going to call it. Now, the reason why I think Apple will call it Unity Glass is it has everything to do with the liquid glass features that is in iOS 26. Unity Glass is what I think Apple is going to call the wallpapers. As far as anything else with this update, well, it's quite a small update, but I am going to have a video going over what's new in iOS 26.3 Beta 3 a little bit later. I will not be installing that beta, but I will talk about what's new in a video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.